All right, and welcome to Psyched for Careers, the career show for the University of Wisconsin Green Bay Psychology program. There's a moment there where I couldn't remember where I was or what I was doing. So this is a live episode, our first ever live episode, so any mistakes we make will be here forever. I'm Ryan Martin, chair of the psychology program.
I'm Chris Vespi. I'm a professor in the psychology program, and it's great to be here with you live. And
Yes.
we've been contemplating what we should do actually to increase viewership.
Yeah.
Since we're live, and
one of us passing out or throwing up might actually probably increase. I mean, that seems like that would probably spread virally.
It kind of seems, and no
that.
pun intended, right?
That was solid.
Nice.
I was worried that I was going to go unnoticed, so thank you for bringing it up.
Very nice. Okay.
So we this is by student request. They wanted to talk about skills, and so I have right here a picture, and I'm going to post this down below as soon as we're done. But these are the National Association of Colleges and Employers. This is the surveys. These are the things employers say they want graduates to be able to do when they work for them. So what we're going to do is go down the list, or not to go down the list. We're going to pick there's 10 here. We're going to pick our favorite two each. Okay. And we're going to talk about them. And I've already forgotten which two I was going to pick. So you're going to start.
All right. That's awesome. Well, and those who know me will be shocked to know that the two that I've chosen are both related to communication. One to writing and one to speaking. Isn't that exciting? Yeah. So for those of you who've seen me grade your papers, well, yeah, you know the whole written communication thing. This is actually, though, one of the most important skills cited by employers as something that they want to see in their graduates. So how can you work on this skill? Well, you might say, I already write enough papers in my classes, but you know what? Write your papers differently. Do a draft. Go to the writing center. Get some feedback on your writing. You might be surprised what you would hear from people, both good and bad, and they'll give you ideas of things that you could continue to do or do even more, and things that maybe are problematic. Journaling. If you're someone who wants to keep a blog, if you're someone who likes keeping a journal, practice makes for better writing. And you're not going to be just writing academic papers for the rest of your life. I hope you're not writing academic papers for the rest of your life.
Right. Great
way to practice your writing.
Very good.
So.
All right. So one is on writing. I'm actually looking for where that is on the list right now.
It's right there.
Yeah. So it looks like it's number 9 on the list, which does not make it unimportant. This is the top 10. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that didn't make the list. That's there. So we're talking about all of these are going to be important.
Absolutely.
So mine here, it looks like it is number 6 on the list, the one I wanted to talk about, which is ability to analyze quantitative data. So
nice.
I hear from a lot of students who say, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about going into the stats class. Now, I will say, I think coming out of the stats class, students oftentimes feel really good about it.
Yep.
But then we ask them to work on it more, right? And we ask them to work on it in other upper-level classes, like research methods. I know, like, for example, in psychomotion, I've got students doing a lot of lab-based assignments where they're analyzing data. Data analysis, really important skill. Employers want to see students who are able to do that. And so really important piece of what we're able to do. And so trying to find ways to build on that through research assistantships. Even a lot of internships have a data analysis component. Trying to build that in and say, okay, this is a skill employers want. I can find a way to try and include more of this. And it's not just finding ways to do these things, it's finding ways to talk about these things. So when you go on interviews, when you talk about, when you write a personal statement, when you, or a cover letter, I should say, for employment, include these kinds of things, and talk about where you've picked up some of these skills.
Yes, and as important as the data analysis piece is, I would also add to that, employers are also going to want to know that you actually understand the data.
Right.
And so another way, if you're the person who doesn't do the research assistantship or for whatever reason, or doesn't do the internship where they do program evaluation, even as you're reading journal articles, challenge yourself to read that results section. And what does it mean? And to be able to talk about what's good data and what's not, and why. So,
absolutely.
Anyway,
good.
I'm going to skip right to number 1 on the list.
That works. That's okay. I'm going to talk about number 2.
Okay. Should you go first then?
I kind of feel like I should.
Okay.
So we're working our way
All
up, right? So we went 9, 6. Now we're going to go 2. 2 is ability to work in team structure. So group work. Right? I know sometimes group work isn't people's favorite. One of the reasons I think it's not people's favorite is because it's hard to coordinate schedules, and I get that. And so, but there's a reason why we encourage students to do it and why it happens in a lot of our classes, and it's because it's a really, really important skill. Employers want people who can work well as a team.
Absolutely.
People who are able to kind of work in problem solve in a team capacity, who can delegate things to one another, who can maximize their own skills in a team. Really important thing. You get that in research methods, of course, but you get it in a lot of your other classes as well.
Absolutely.
And this is another place where you might get it as a research assistant or teaching assistant, things like that, because so often you're working on those projects as part of a team. And so really, really important skill. There's a reason why we do it as often as we do.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know.
And this ties into drum roll. That wasn't really a drum roll, but
I was worried you were going to knock over the camera. That's why I didn't.
Oh my gosh.
But she didn't. We're fine.
Okay, yeah, live
But it's
live
okay.
Facebook. This is what happens. Flying without a net here, people.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
But here, I'll do it over here.
Yes. Okay.
There we go.
Verbal communication. Woo-hoo. Yeah, you should be able to speak effectively.
Yes.
This is so exciting. Now, that could mean getting up and giving a speech.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It can also mean being able to express your opinion at a staff meeting.
Mm-hmm.
It can mean being able to give a pitch to your boss one-on-one about why this new idea that you have is so important and would be so great for the company. There are so many ways that you can practice this. Raise your hand in class.
I was just going to say that. But I figured you were going to, but I was
Well,
thinking
no,
that
but
exact same thing.
It can't be said enough.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, talk in class. It will help you in so many ways. It will help you not only in terms of developing your verbal skills, but it will also help you in terms of the references and recommendations that you're going to need for when you apply for those jobs, because you want to be known to your professors. You want to be known to your classmates. You also want to practice those leadership skills. You also have the presentations in class, often group presentations, goes right back to that teamwork, right? You also have the opportunity as you're working in teams, there's conflict.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you hate group work, because there can be conflict. Talking about that is really challenging, but you know what? Conflict and disagreements happen in the workplace too, and that's one of the reasons that your boss wants you to be able to do it.
And I think that there's a piece of this that I would just describe as bravery. That being brave enough to speak in front of a big group of people, whether it's doing a speech or just raising your hand and talking about something, even asking a question, I think that that's actually a really important thing to be able to do. And it doesn't just come up in work. It comes up in community meetings and things like that. I go to neighborhood meetings where we're talking about issues where I'm glad that I'm able to speak in front of the room and stand up and say, this is important to me. And it's just a really important skill for people to have, and an important thing to be able to do.
Yes. So. Well, and sometimes, honestly, I would say the exact same thing. Bravery, it sometimes requires even more courage to say something to someone one-on-one that you know. Yep. Like, to say, I really need you to pull your weight better in this group that we're doing, or I need you to do X, Y, Z, and here's why. Because you know what, you're also going to want to do things like go to your boss and ask for a raise. And as a parent, if you become a parent, you may need to go to a teacher or principal to advocate on behalf of your child. And that can be hard too. And it requires that same bravery. So.
And effective communication. Very good. So that was our very first live episode of Psyched for Careers. We're going to put this on YouTube with the others, so it shows up in the playlist. However, if you have questions, you can actually just post them right in the comment section below. And we will do our best to answer them. Kendall Orange just joined.
Wow. Okay. Good to see.
We will post. We will do our best to answer those questions as you post them. So,
excellent.
There you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Ryan Martin.
I'm Chris Vespia. Have a great day.
Thanks. Boop. Maybe.